Hi, and welcome to the Piano Man podcast. Today, I interview Adrian Piper, originally from Romania, now living in the Netherlands. We talk about growing up in a communist country, his world travels, and his unique solo setup. Let's get into it. So I'd like to welcome Adrian this evening from Romania, true? Yes.
Hello, everybody. Hey, Adam. Great, man. Thank you for having me over, man.
Thanks for coming, man. It's
super happy about it.
It was a mission coming from Amsterdam to The Hague.
Yeah, it was a bit of a struggle. Not really.
But so we've met, actually the first time we met was in Maxim Piano Bar.
Hang on. I thought haven't we seen each other in Norway? No. Have we?
Not that I remember.
Yeah, well... Let's just stick to Amsterdam, I guess.
Where do you think you met me in Norway?
I must have heard of you before I've actually met you in person.
Oh, okay.
And that must have been in Norway.
Oh, okay. That's quite possible. Yeah.
But then, Amsterdam it is, I guess.
So I was actually, I had a night out with my wife. We stayed in Amsterdam for the night and we came to Maxim and I met you then. That was the first time I heard you.
That's true.
And that was the first time I saw you playing your keyboard and stuff.
And I think that was the first time I've been playing in Amsterdam.
Oh, really?
I think that was my first time that I've played in Amsterdam. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Fantastic.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. That was good. We had a really good time that night. Maxim's a fantastic piano bar.
What was that? Was it 2 years ago? Must have been
about a year ago even.
Yeah. Oh,
How long have you been here for doing Crazy Pianos?
I think, so I've been doing Crazy Piano since August last year.
Okay.
No, that makes it 2 years this year already. Oh my God, time flies. Huh?
Okay.
Right.
Wow.
So August this year is going to be 2 years, which means
I've been in Amsterdam.
Yeah, it was before that.
Yeah.
It was just after the pandemic, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. And how are you finding it living in Amsterdam and playing around?
I mean, I love it. Amsterdam is. I don't think it's. I can't classify it as a dream come true necessarily, but I think. It's pretty international, and I like that. I love the variety. I love the jazz bar, and the
Altos, you mean?
Yeah, Altos.
Yeah.
Great little place.
It is.
And having all of those things next to you, you're there basically every day. You can listen to that every day. You have all sorts of opportunities, which.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's a great really place to live. I lived there for a while and I loved it. It was fantastic.
I think it's a bit too busy though, but not where I live. Let's put it like that.
No, where you live's actually not too bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Just outside the city,
It's just, it's
the
actually in the middle of
it's
outside of the city centre.
Yeah, well, it's like CBD if you like, but it's not a CBD because Amsterdam has its own CBD outside of the city.
That is true. It's quite a big little village.
Yes, it's kind of bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're originally from Romania. Where are you from in Romania?
Right. So I am 100% Romanian. Yeah, I'm from a little town called Luduș, which is like. Do you know when you see Romania? The Romania is divided in 3 places.
Yes.
There's Transylvania, Moldova, and then. I never knew the name in English.
But Moldova is an independent country, though.
It is, but it's also a region in Romania called Moldova.
Oh, okay.
So basically, I live in Transylvania. Yeah. And if you look at the map of Transylvania and you put your finger in the middle of it, that's exactly where I come from.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
So you're a country boy then?
I am a country boy indeed.
Uh-huh. So tell us about your early music education, if you like, or just, experience.
Right. Oh, man. I don't even know where to start. It's been a hell of a journey, to be fair. I've started actually playing music, or trying to play music rather, when I was about 4 years old. And I remember my father was rehearsing with his band or with some people in the culture house that we call. There was an institution in my hometown which is called the Culture House, something like that in English. But yeah, and they were having rehearsals there. And I guess if I remember correctly, maybe my father's gonna watch this. He's gonna remind me what is what. But I think that he saw the fact that I was super enthusiastic about all the instruments. Right. I wanted to play drums. There was back in the days we didn't have drum machines and everything, right? We had everything was acoustic. Everything was real.
Which is great.
Yeah, which was great indeed. And then so he saw me just being enthusiastic about every single of those instruments.
Yeah.
And then he probably said, oh, okay, so it's time for you to take some lessons, you know. And then I did that.
Yeah.
Actually, I tried the local teacher in my hometown.
Uh-huh.
That was back in 94.
Yeah.
And I guess that's where the musical journey started, man. My parents moved cities for me just to be able to, you know, learn better piano, which eventually has switched to, you know, guitar learning.
Yeah.
I've done quite a few, you know, turns
Yeah.
where I didn't know what my instrument would be, man.
Well, it'd be both.
And I did both.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but I mean, I think, piano is gonna be, you know, like my main thing. But I think my biggest love will always be guitar.
Yeah, I can understand that totally.
And then singing, you know, my father was, as I said, he was also singing. My mom too, as well. She's super talented.
They played together, yeah?
They used to play together, indeed. So, and then, here I am. I mean, it's been a hell of a journey. I don't even know where to start.
Right.
Or where to stop.
What about piano entertaining? How did you get into that?
Piano entertaining was actually something that my father used to do as well.
Oh.
And if you remember back in the days, like late 90s, a lot of, you know, South, how do you call it? Like Eastern European people, Bulgarians, Romanians, and most likely a lot of other nations as well. They've been playing in Scandinavia, where you play too, where I play too.
Yeah, yeah.
And back then there was an agency, one of the agents that was booking the piano entertainers in Norway was actually Romanian.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then
what was his name?
His name is Daniel. So Daniel Fonaziano. He's everybody knows him in Eastern Europe, 100%.
Is he still booking?
I doubt that he is.
Oh.
No, I don't think so. He does live in Norway though, but I think he's retired.
Oh, okay.
I've seen him doing a lot of fishing.
Oh, okay.
So that means
He's
he probably
retired.
has a lot of time off. But shout out to him if he's watching this. I mean,
Oh, cool.
great guy. He So my father was actually playing in a trio.
Uh-huh.
And he went to Norway, not only in Greenland too.
Oh, yes, I've heard about
remember,
that gig. Yeah.
Back in the days, there was like 9 months contracts and stuff like that.
9 months?
Yeah, 9 months.
Oh, my God.
So he was gone for like 9 months at a time.
Wow.
Back in like late 90s, 99, 2000, something like that.
I heard that the piano bar,
or even earlier, yeah.
the piano bar in Greenland was quite aggressive.
It was.
Yes.
You would have to play behind bars, just as in prison, man. I mean, it was like cage.
That's crazy.
Like you're playing in a cage, because we used to call them people with no teeth.
Yes.
Because they literally have no teeth.
Yes.
And they would become so aggressive that they would throw their, you know, empty bottles and everything at you if you wouldn't play the correct song, which was the case pretty much every single time.
I've been to Greenland briefly, and I've seen people with no teeth. Yeah. But
that's because they love fighting, man.
really,
Yeah.
I thought maybe it could have been healthcare, but
It could have been that as well.
okay, yeah, fair enough.
But I think they really enjoy fighting. So yeah. But yeah, so this is how I got to Norway. It was basically one of my goals. I wanted to be a piano entertainer ever since my father was doing that. So I was like 9, 10 years old.
What was your first gig then?
My first gig actually was as a piano entertainer on a boat, on cruise ships, on a ferry, to be honest.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. I think I've played... Do you remember the P&O ferries that go from... is it Hull in England to Rotterdam, back and forth?
Yes. Hull to Rotterdam, I know that one, yeah.
And I think that's what I've started playing. I had a 2-month contract right after my 18th birthday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And then I did that over the summer. I think it was a 2-month contract. And then the guy that booked me there came over to, you know, listen to me a little bit. And then he offered me a real cruise gig for 6 months, which ended up being actually a whole year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've extended it again. So I finished the 6 months, and then I made another 6 months.
Which company was that with?
It was Thompson Cruises, which is known as TUI now.
Which ship?
It was the Island Escape.
Oh, okay.
That was an old ship. I think that was one of the last sails that it did when I was there playing.
Right. I also did some contracts for Thompson. back in the day as well. Yeah, a long time ago. Yeah, it was different.
It's good times. Yeah,
Yeah, man, it was a lot of fun.
great times.
Yeah, cruise ships are great fun.
They are. They are.
But,
Indeed.
eventually you got to get off them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, being stuck in a box is not the most fun thing that you can
and
do.
if you want a life where you do things, that's,
Definitely.
otherwise it's Groundhog Day and you wake up and you do the same thing.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
that's
Definitely, man.
But-
Yeah.
So, like a brief running history then of your playing as a piano entertainer.
Whew. Yeah, I mean, right. Again, I don't know where to start. I mean, I've done a lot of cruise ships. After that, I've gone back to the ferries. At a point I had the, should I say opportunity or actually blessing? No, it's actually an opportunity because I think all of us go through this. We, at some point you get to choose the best paid gigs. So then you don't really care where you play or where you are, especially when you're, early 20s or even younger than that,
Yeah.
You just go for bigger bucks.
Yeah, of course.
And then that's what I've done.
Yeah.
And eventually I ended up in Gran Canaria as well.
Yeah. Well, Black
where I've
White?
played. No, I have played there just a few gigs. But I've been playing in Lillebroer.
I didn't know.
Party and Piano Bar is just across the street from Black and White.
I wonder if it's still there. I don't think it is.
It is still there. I've actually
really?
got an offer a few days ago to play there again.
Really?
Yeah, indeed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's great memories as well. I've been there for quite a while.
That's like a party bar.
It is a party bar. It's super Norwegian. It's very Norwegian. It's always, I think 90% of the times is Norwegian customers, right?
Oh, cool.
But
yes.
Gran Canaria in general
There's a lot
is
of Norwegians.
Yeah, it's very Scandinavian.
Yes.
isn't it?
Even in Black White, there's a lot of Norwegians.
Black and White as well.
Yeah, and a specific time of the year too, that Norwegians come and the English people come.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
That is true. But you don't see that many English people in Lillebroer.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
It's mostly Scandinavian. Yeah.
And so you did the Norway scene, and then where'd you end up?
I've did the Norway scene for almost 10 years, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I've played there for Gary Dipner Entertainment, which was amazing. He actually, I was actually turned down by a few agents before him.
Oh.
Yeah, they said no, you're not a real piano player,
Huh?
and I was like,
Oh.
all right. I wasn't at the time. I was still super young. I was actually studying guitar, like I said, and trying to become a better guitar player or so. I'll send you some of the videos when I'll
cool,
I'll
yeah,
show you some of the videos. It's really cool. But then I wanted to, because I had a lot of friends from Romania that were doing, due to this agent from Romania, Daniel. There were a lot of people. I started knowing a lot of people from Romania doing the Norway scene, right? The piano bars in Norway and everything. So I really wanted to do that as well. And I had the contacts from the other agents, from those guys from Romania. And I started sending a demo. You remember back then you had to tape yourself.
Yeah.
And then, So I did that. And some of them turned me down. And Dipner actually trusted in me. And he offered, my first gig with Dipner was actually for my birthday.
Oh, wow.
7th of July, I played in Sweden.
Oh.
Yeah, a small venue in Uddevalla.
Yeah.
Great scenario as well, man. Swedish people can party, man.
Yeah.
And it was like, how do you call it? Like a student town as well.
Right.
So it was good times,
perfect.
baby. Yeah.
Perfect for you.
Made a, standing ovation. And then
How old were you then?
I think I was 20.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect age for a student.
I was, amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, eventually, I've been playing there actually all throughout the years till the pandemic.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic came, and that was that.
What did you do in the pandemic?
Well,
Tough for musicians that time.
Yeah, that was a hard time for us, for all of the musicians.
Yeah.
And not only, but I mean, we suffered quite a lot.
Yeah. Didn't really have much government help or anything like that, and didn't.
No.
And being self-employed is you're pretty screwed,
Yeah, indeed. It was one of the hardest times. But back in the pandemics, we actually started with my family, with my cousins and everything. We started our own band in Romania.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we had a goal. The goal was for us to be a party band for events in Romania.
Oh, cool.
Little did I know that I would miss the piano bar industry that much, that I would have to get out of that.
Yeah, right.
It was, yeah. We actually did a lot of videos which are on YouTube and everything.
Yeah.
But little did I know I actually missed this scenario. The piano bar is just something else, you know.
Yeah, of course. You know, I mean, it's great fun, you know.
Yeah, it's great fun.
And then you came, how'd you get here? How'd you get to Holland? How'd you hear about it?
Yeah. So I've got I want to say it was, because you remember there was a time when Dipner, the Norwegian agent, he actually sold his company.
Yeah.
He retired.
Yeah.
And then he sold his company to a fellow musician as well, fellow piano entertainer.
Yes.
Whose name is was it Vanessa? Yes.
She was fantastic.
She was fantastic.
She was really good at her job.
She but she was, I think, unlucky enough, you know, to catch the pandemic too.
She was.
And that didn't help much.
But
still,
she had that great opportunity to be managing director of Virgin Records.
She is one of the biggest managing, artist managing person alive, man, right now.
That's crazy.
It is crazy
to think that that's where she ended up, you know.
Well, I think she really worked hard towards this direction as well. Yes. So I think she fully deserves it.
Yes.
But then Tammy Tanner took over,
yes.
man. We all know Tammy. And and then I think she was the one that booked me the gig in Maxim in Amsterdam, where we've met.
Oh, okay. I didn't know she booked Maxime, but that's cool.
Yeah, because...
Was that Jonathan?
Well, they worked together.
They worked together, yes. So it was through Jonathan that you did that?
It was, yeah.
Through Tammy, through Jonathan.
Yeah, through Tammy to Jonathan, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how I ended up in Amsterdam. Then, eventually, a dear friend of ours, Barry Boyan.
Oh, yes.
He offered me the opportunity to replace him actually one time in Crazy Pianos.
Oh, yes.
It was on a Friday. It was packed with people. It was a nightmare for me because I didn't know how now I do this on a daily basis. I always go and, back and forth from Amsterdam to Scheveningen. And now I know the trip, but back then I didn't know. And on that particular Friday, there was a strike from NS, which are the the trains.
Oh.
Yeah, so the trains were working because there was a strike. And eventually ended up paying a taxi there and back just to do the gig.
Wow, which is pretty much all the money gone.
Which is pretty much all the money gone.
That's
exactly. And then it was amazing. I mean, I remember the next day, Stevie J is the we all know who Stevie is. Stevie's the guy that is in charge of
the piano manager, if you like.
Exactly. He's in charge of all the piano players.
Yep.
From Crazy Pianos.
Yes.
And then the next day we had a serious talk, and he offered me the job. He said, basically, this is, what you've done last night. This is what you have to do. You have a lot to learn, obviously, because still, there are, like we spoke earlier, there was a lot of Dutch songs being involved, and it's just Crazy Piano has its own way of entertaining.
Yeah. It's a learning curve for any person that comes there,
and it's a constant learning curve.
Yeah. No,
which is beautiful.
And it can be very intimidating if you've not done it before and you rock up and you just start playing. And
absolutely.
And you might have thought that you were good, and then you play there and you find out that
But yeah, exactly. That's how it is.
Shit.
And also, having a live drummer with you.
Yeah, which is fantastic.
Of the caliber of the drummers that we have as well, because they're absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Is wow, like it's just a show from song one to end song.
Yeah, and I think you really have to adapt to playing with another person, because we've always, piano entertainers, travel the world playing on our own.
Yeah.
And so you're not running the show, you've got to run it with somebody else, and that's with another personality that you might conflict with, that you might not.
Exactly.
And then you've got to learn each other and get to know each other on the gig. That takes time,
It takes time indeed, and it's, like you said, it's just, it can be it can be like you can easily get a panic attack as soon as you get on the stage there, because people really have fun there, man.
You
They're
know,
there to party.
Yeah, I've seen people fail monumentally there.
Yeah.
And I've also seen back in the day a bit of a kind of culture of we want you to fail, to make me look good. I remember, some people were very weak and they tried to do their thing and, perhaps other players were not very accommodating for them. And so if you're not a strong person, it's really a difficult place to be.
Exactly. Your moral needs to be super, super strong. And, it is. It is a difficult place to be. But that's because it's so great, and music-wise, I think we are, like you said, it's a constant learning curve, And then I think musically we're evolving because we got to know each other. We're a little bit past that phase, like as you said earlier.
Yeah.
And I think right now we are just growing and growing in that matter, which I love.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
It's never the same. Although it is the same.
It is a job that you never stop learning.
Absolutely. And it's amazing.
Oh, that's cool, man. So, what about your influences? What are some of your major influences musically?
Musically, the question that you get most often in a piano bar when people come to you and they say, "What's your favorite song to play?"
Oh yeah.
This is kind of the same question. It's really hard because, as we mentioned earlier, I come from a Balkan country where the music is, Balkan, is super weird for, the rest of the Europe. And then, I grew up listening to that, which is super complicated, by the way. There is so much happening in Balkan
Different
music.
scales, different rhythms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Great musicians as well. It's like not normal.
Absolutely.
But then, I also come from an ex-communist country where, listening to good music was not really an option, man. It was not an easy option, at least, Although in the late 90s, when my father went out of the country, he would always bring back CDs or cassettes, with everything from Smokey to Queen to Deep Purple and all the rock stuff and everything, So I think it's safe to say that there were periods of times when I was listening just to rock. I got into jazz, funk, Jamiroquai, stuff like that. Till lately, everything has evolved to like Dirty Loops and Snarky Puppy and stuff like this. So that's the kind of music I listen to. But that's, I think that's exactly the opposite of what we do on a day-to-day basis.
It is, but I think musically, there's always a beginning where people draw you in by their sound and then you try and emulate them. And I would say that I hear in your voice, I sometimes hear Stevie Wonder,
Yeah.
Your inflections. But then I hear the Christopher Cross sometimes in your style of chords,
Yeah. Yeah, I've listened to a lot of both of the artists. Also, I think a big influence on me on, thinking wise, not necessarily, because we think in music too.
Of course.
We don't just randomly play. But I think there's a lot of like Toto and all of those, big bands that have, revolutionized music actually.
Yeah.
So I learned a great deal by listening to pretty much everything.
Yeah.
So I can't really classify I'm not a jazz musician or so, but I've listened to pretty much every single style.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you sing in multiple languages, yeah?
I do.
How many languages do you sing in?
Wow. Good question. I haven't thought about it.
Huh.
I obviously sing in my mother tongue, English. I think it's safe to say there's about 7 languages that I can speak and know what I do.
Yeah.
Because
Singing wise.
there would be like a Greek song that I have no idea. I don't speak Greek, for example, but I definitely can play a few songs.
But I don't mean so much. I mean, I know you speak a lot of languages, but also singing in different languages, and especially in ones that you don't know.
Yeah.
I think this kind of question is aimed at my interest in how people cope with singing in languages they don't understand. You know, like because we live in Europe, we'll end up in countries and people will ultimately ask us, can you play an Italian song? Can you play a Norwegian song or something Swedish? And how do you go about learning stuff that you really have no idea about phonetically or?
That is a great question, man.
Yeah.
Yes, it is phonetically, but you know, being a musician has its own benefits as well.
Yeah.
Our hearing is a little bit more
fine-tuned,
receptive.
Yes.
You know, it's easier for us to learn sounds and, you know, pronunciation things and, you know, end up singing something you don't know, but it actually sounds good, you know. So that happens to all of us. I'm sure about it. I'm sure all of us have been there at least once.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I
but that's a fun thing, actually. But this is the reason. This is my explanation. I think being a musician has its own benefits, and this is one of them. You know, being able to fast learn. You know, I was having a discussion with some of my friends, and which are, you know, they tried playing guitar just for a hobby or so. They're not necessarily musicians or so, but they were like, "How do you learn songs?" And it's just, at some point you see the loop, you see the pattern, you know, it's just like, you know, for people that don't play music and they're watching us right now, everybody knows about the 4 chord songs. It's just as easy as that. That's a pattern.
Mm.
And then I think we have this, you know, because over the years learning so many songs and everything, I think we have the ability to, you know, to hear the patterns or to, you know, to find out what the pattern is super easily.
Yeah.
And then how many times has it happened to you, for example, that you just listen to the song and then you sit down and you play it right away?
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
It's just because we recognize those patterns.
On the
easier.
gig, you're often, even in Dutch, I'll have people say, oh, can you play this song Fantastico? And I'm like, Fantastico? Never heard it. Have a listen. Va Fantastico.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, cool, let's do it.
Yeah.
Pull the words out.
As easy as that.
Away we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes as easy as that. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's
you're like,
hard.
nah, not going to happen today.
Yep,
Yeah, for sure.
exactly.
I mean, you know, you got to be realistic.
Yeah. But most of the times this is the case, yeah.
Exactly. Crazy gig story. I'd love a crazy gig story from you. Hit us up.
Oh, man. I'm just wondering who's going to be watching or listening to this right now, just for me to know what to say. But I mean, there have been a few. I think most of them were at my, you know, early full-time job, which was doing gigs back home in Romania with my father. We were playing weddings in Romania.
Yeah.
That's a thing. In the Balkans, playing weddings is a thing. It's like, you know, doing private events over here or something, you know, but that's a thing. And it takes the whole day.
Yeah.
Each wedding takes the whole day, man. From 9 a.m. to 11, 12, you know.
Or later.
In the night, yeah. So it's a long day and everything. And sometimes we would have 2 in the same day. Like, I know it sounds impossible, but actually we have like a Romanian wedding is separated into 2 things. When you eat and when you don't. And then when you eat, you have, you know, the folk music people playing, you know, saxophone, violin, and accordions.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, very cool.
And then, and then you have the party set, which would be me.
Yeah.
I would just sing, right? Back in the days, I would just sing and my father would play piano. You know, and use a Roland VA-76 and the Korg PA-1X.
Oh, the VA-76.
Yeah, with
I used to have one of those, man.
They were amazing, right?
It was like a spaceship, a bloody huge
It
keyboard.
was.
But it was like really one of the very advanced arranger keyboards.
It was. And I remember my father having actually the Roland G800, man. Do you remember that one?
I don't remember that one, no.
No, that's way older.
I used to have a VA-76, though.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, we also
VA-6 I had.
VA-7.
Yeah, I had the VA-6.
No.
Smaller keyboard.
No, but that was the VA-7 though.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, and then the VA-76 was the bigger one.
And the 88 note as well.
No.
I think there was only a smaller one and a 176 note.
I don't remember.
There was 2 models, I think.
Yeah, there was,
Yeah. I had the smaller one.
Yeah. Anyway, it was...
so heavy.
Yeah, a heavy keyboard indeed. And it had the beam thing.
Yeah, I use that all the time.
Yeah, that was so cool. Yeah. So then in the time that they would play folk music in one venue, I would be doing the party set in the other venue, and then back and forth for 12 hours or so.
Wow, man.
Yeah, and I was 12 years old, 13 years old.
That's
when I
crazy.
did. Yeah,
That's crazy.
it's really cool.
Yeah.
But crazy stories.
Yes. Tell me a crazy, messed up moment. Let's hear
Right.
it.
So we were preparing for this wedding.
Yeah.
It was in a village back in Romania.
Yeah.
Pretty. How can I put it? I think just a forgotten village, man.
Okay.
Let's put it like that.
Okay. Okay.
And then we. So just imagine this: the venue was on top of a hill.
Yeah.
And you would have to obviously climb some stairs to get to the venue.
Yeah.
And me and my father and the band, the rest of the guys, we were getting to the venue when the bride and the groom were also walking up, people with flowers, with everything, waiting for them to get into the venue. I don't know if this is funny or actually horrible, to be fair. Now, rethinking about it.
That's all good.
But it was really funny for me because I was a kid. The bride fell off the stairs from almost the top of the hill till the very bottom.
Like,
And
do
yes.
help, do
You
help.
have no idea. It was horrible. Everybody was stoned. They didn't know what to do to
You
help
got to
or
kind
not.
of laugh at it though, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, but
shit
like a
happens.
silent one, But then she was actually in such a bad condition. How do you call it? Is it spline? The human spline, right?
The spleen.
Spleen.
Oh, yeah.
That's correct. Right.
Okay.
She got that ripped.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So then the helicopter had to come.
Oh
over.
my God.
Yeah. So, but then the fun thing about this, because that was the sad.
That's
part,
not fun. Yeah.
The fun thing was that we were actually already installed, and getting people there already is a big struggle for the family that was organizing the event, the wedding. So the father of the groom said, "I don't care. I don't care. She's in hospital mode. Everybody's here. We're gonna have a fucking party, man."
Yeah, of course.
So we had to play music while the groom was crying there.
Oh,
He was like,
poor
"Ah."
guy.
And then you have the dance of the bride and their first dance or whatever it's called.
Oh God.
And then I was the one saying, "Okay, so we are gonna invite over for the dance."
To
for
dance
the
on his own.
It was just the groom, and it was
Oh.
it was like, okay, we just gotta skip this. And
Oh yeah, man.
but there's a million things like that.
Go
man.
on, do it on your
man,
own.
I mean, it's mostly 18 plus, man.
Oh yeah, of course.
We're gonna skip that. I think
There's a
it's
lot
for
of
the
that,
best.
man.
We're
Yeah.
gonna leave something for the cold beers. We're gonna
I
grab
think so.
in
Yeah.
Amsterdam at some point.
That is. Yeah. I mean that. With alcohol involved, crazy things happen. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man.
Do you have any crazy alcohol-fueled stories at all?
Not really, because when I had them, it was mainly tequila, and tequila kills you, man. You don't really remember much. the
No,
next
fair
day.
enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, I've had my share, but they're also
I meant more about
Not much.
the audience. Like, in Norway, a lot of people jump on the piano, try to do things, fall off head first onto the ground. I've had that,
Norwegian people are actually terrible with alcohol.
They are.
This is the reason they have their rules.
separating
for-
bars and
Yeah.
drinks. Yeah.
But for those who don't know, it depends on in which region you play.
Yeah.
But some of the region they have to close their bar at 1:30. This is Stavanger area. Oslo area closes the bar at 2:00, and I think some of the other areas are closing, which are very few. They close their bars at 3. Which mean what I'm saying by closing the bar, they're not allowed to sell alcohol anymore. If they do that, they get their alcohol license removed right away.
And they're having people come through all the time to check
do.
it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember them saying, "Oh, he's coming tonight. Just be careful, watch out, this and that," because he's watching for. They're checking people. They're doing everything. They're very strict. on
Yeah,
it.
law is law there for sure. But they know how to drink.
They do.
They
do.
know how to drink. You always see that guy, at 5 minutes before closing, going buying a whole tray of shots and 20 beers just to
Or
try to feed.
or standing at the piano vomiting.
Oh, man, that's happened too
hey,
many times,
dude, I
bro.
think you should leave, huh?
Yeah,
I think you
oh,
should go
yeah.
home. It's not happening for you today.
No, yeah. Oh God. But that's that, But then, how many women have done that too?
Oh yeah. Oh, it doesn't matter, male, female.
No, it does
they're the
not
same.
matter. It's they are
The women are the worst.
the women are that's what I was going to point.
They get
out.
really aggressive.
Oh yeah, they
with
would
you.
fight
I mean,
you. Huh?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Having said that, how would you say this? What kind of effect does this have on your lifestyle? Good or bad?
Do you mean?
The way you live. I mean, like, I think this is aimed at people normally have a 9-to-5 job. We don't do that. We live in a different time zone and in a different style of living. How would you say that music affects your way of life?
Well, there are two sides. On one side, it makes me super happy because I get to do for a living exactly what I've been trained to do and what I love to do with all my heart, which obviously makes me happy.
For money.
And money, obviously, yeah. But yeah, we it's safe to say that we have a pretty good living, doing what we love. Yeah. But it is really sad for most of us, not for all of us, but I'm one of the, because it's hard to, be in a family, especially I've been traveling quite a lot, so it's really hard to, to be in a family, to be in a relationship is also quite hard, because of the working hours as well. And, the amount of tiredness that your body gathers over the years and, it gathers up, man, it for me. And it's really, I constantly find myself tired, but at the same time, as soon as I get on the piano, everything goes away, so I'm happy again. Yeah. So there's ups and downs. Yeah. But I would say I'm just grateful for the fact that I actually managed to do something that I wouldn't be able to do back home in Romania. Yeah, right. Because Romania is such a, I don't want to talk bad about it, but it's super restricted in this area. It doesn't have much culture for piano bars or, trained musicians. I can't tell you how many friends I have that have graduated in, music schools and conservatoriums as well. And now they are, architects or doing some other job just because you can't make a living out of music in that country. Yeah.
But I also think that being a musician is a lifestyle choice.
It is.
So, you might study music and find that I love music, but my lifestyle is not that. My lifestyle is going to be being a lawyer and I'm going to do music on the side. Whereas to choose music as a life is not just about the music. It's about the style of living.
It is.
And I actually personally love it.
Yeah, me too.
For me, it's just, I couldn't live any other way. I've tried and it does not work.
But like I said, it is super fulfilling, the fact that you do what you like. So of course you're going to love your lifestyle.
Exactly.
But that part of the lifestyle only, I think.
And look, a question for you. If you could go back in time to you as a young player, what advice would you give to yourself?
I would definitely have studied more piano.
Piano.
But that's because I didn't waste time, but I lost time not practicing piano because I was playing guitar, and I also liked life. So I was never a good, study or apprentice or whatever. I should have studied a little bit more, but I'm happy with the way it goes still. But a certain advice that I would recommend to everybody that is starting to do this is try to just see ahead of time how happy you can be doing what you do, and try to focus on that because it's gonna pay off. And just work in that direction as much as you can, and don't be afraid of, like, I remember when I was a kid studying piano. When I started playing piano, I remember kids were playing outside football, and I was watching them outside the window. I was studying piano. But guess what, man? 30 years later,
Yeah.
I'm making money out of this, doing what I love. They're still out there playing football, you know.
I hear
So,
you. Yeah.
you know, it's just you gotta know that there is gonna be super hard parts as well, but
Yeah.
it's so much fun and it's so worth it. One other advice that I would give myself, a younger me, is don't fucking smoke. Don't smoke. Why do you smoke? I'm a smoker.
Oh, yes.
This shouldn't have happened, man.
I know. But
It
do you
makes
think
it harder.
do you think you would have listened to yourself?
No. But I mean, somebody who is not a non-smoker, don't start smoking, man. This is so bad. I mean, I feel it.
It was very difficult for me to quit. I used to smoke a lot.
Yeah.
But one day I stopped and I never started again. May the 1st, 1999, actually.
Right.
So, and I used to be 2-3 packets a day person.
Oh, no, I don't do that now still. That's a lot.
It was a lot, yeah. And I'm grateful that I had the ability to do that because it is very difficult, you know.
Yeah.
But I often have this thing, you know, my thoughts is that it's very difficult to tell yourself anything or for anyone to tell you stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Often life is to be lived and learned. And
Absolutely,
so these mistakes you make and you learn from them. And in hindsight, you know, you could have known better. But yeah.
I think the easiest...
You have to live it.
Yeah. Otherwise, you will never know what's going to happen, man. And just making mistakes is the biggest thing ever.
Yeah. This leads me to my next question, actually, which was, what advice do you have for new players starting out that want to get into it? What should they do to get into being a piano entertainer? Yeah.
Again, study. And what you have to study as a new entertainer is individualism, hands, doing different things. It's super important that you know how to play your left-hand bass, just what we do right now, because it is, you know, as a piano entertainer, that's the best way to approach a crowd and to make them jump with you is, you know, by hitting that correct bass, man. I mean, I think bass is, you know, the foundation of groove, you know. So,
oh, absolutely.
So you have to know how to play that also.
Well, that's really good advice, actually. I haven't heard that from anyone yet. Independence.
Independence.
Yes, having independence in your hands and singing with your playing. That's actually really tricky, is to sing a different rhythm while you're playing 2 different rhythms in your hand.
Exactly. And this is what we do.
Yeah.
We don't see it because we got used to it already. And people, that's the reason people get scared of, oh, that's a hard gig.
Yeah.
Or something.
And to actually be able to talk while you're playing.
Yeah.
Because that is improvised. So you're improvising over the top of rhythms that could be changing in both hands. That's just it. And it actually does my head in sometimes. Sometimes I catch myself and I'm like, okay, this is actually really hard to play and talk just normally.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
You know, or I'll drop a bit. I'll be like, oh, sorry, I'm trying to talk randomly and think about something else. And
it is.
You know.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, just everybody should just try it once, you know, just try that. It's super easy. It looks hard, but it's super easy. And once you've managed to blend it in, you're going to be a greater piano player than you always thought that you could.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then those kind of gigs that we do right now are going to be easy peasy.
Yeah.
You know, pretty much.
And, well, that's great. But what I'd really love to hear is you do a tune for us, man.
Not,
Can we do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
Let's head over to the piano.
I love it. Yes.
So what I'd love to hear is something that you are super comfortable playing.
Yeah, I'm going to play something fun for myself. Can I play just piano now?
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Whatever you want. Yeah, so I'd love to hear something that you're comfortable with playing.
Sure. Oh, man. This is exactly what we spoken about earlier. You know? What is your favorite tune to play? Who knows? What is your favorite tune to play?
I love playing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Okay, cool.
But you know what? I think what I mean more is not actually your favorite song, but you know, your default song. What is it that you go, I'm going to sit down and I can't think of anything, but this is just what I play because it's comfortable.
Right. Right, so let's do, you know what? I'm gonna do a song, if that's okay with you. This is one of my mother's favorite songs.
Okay,
and I
cool.
really feel comfortable playing this.
Awesome.
Since it's, you know, an emotion there as well.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. From a phone booth in Vegas, Jessie calls if I vegan to tell me how she's tired of all of them. She says, baby, I've been thinking about a trade about the sea. We can go to Mexico, you, the cat and me. We'll drink tequila and look for seashells. Now doesn't that sound sweet? Well, Jesse, you always do this every time I get back on my feet. Jesse, paint your pictures about how this gonna be. But now I should know better. Your dreams are never free. Tell me on about our little train about the sea. But Jesse, you can always sell any dream to me. Jesse, you can always sell any dream to me. Get yourself together, bring Moses and drive real fast. And I listen to her promise, I swear to God this time it's gonna last. No, Jesse, paint your pictures about how this gonna be. But now I should know better. Your dreams are never free. Tell me on about our little train about the sea. And Jesse, you can always sell any dream to me. Jesse, you can always sell any dream to me.
Very nice, man. Very
Thank
nice.
you, man.
Awesome. Love it.
Great tune, man.
It is a great tune.
Yeah.
Fantastic tune. That's definitely a piano bar staple, that one. That's,
Yeah, true, indeed.
Do you know his first hit?
Sorry?
Do you know the first
Joshua
hit?
Kedison's first hit. No,
Yeah.
I don't.
It was Beautiful in Your Eyes.
I don't know that song.
Okay, check it out because it's really good.
I might have learned it though. I might have heard it before.
Probably,
for sure.
yeah. Yeah.
Right.
That's a really nice song. That was the first one I learned, and then Jesse came out, and that
For
was
sure.
like an even bigger hit.
Gonna have to, yeah.
Postcard, Picture Postcards from LA. You know that one?
Also no.
Also a very good song.
Okay.
Yeah. He has a kind of a bit of parallel with Mark Cohen. You know,
Right, yeah,
he's
yeah,
from
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
period.
It is, yeah.
He's a kind of a bit more subdued style of him. you
Yeah.
know, most definitely.
Yeah.
Can you give us some tricks and tips about entertaining from for players that are interested in wanting to be able to entertain? What is it that you do specifically? Things that help you break the ice or get a crowd going?
Right. It's, as you said, to get the crowd going, actually, is the tricky part, because you never, like we said earlier, we never have the same situation. You know, it's always, most of the times there are people having the will to party, and then it's an easygoing crowd, which means you're safe to play
pretty much anything, and they'll go, they'll go along. In the same time, I think the best thing to do is always be up to date with, the most mainstream tunes, especially 80s and 70s, which the groove was always there, and I would say, especially here in the Netherlands, but worldwide as well, the best thing is to interact with the crowd, which means let them choose the songs you play, which automatically means you need to have a great deal of tunes, maybe hundreds, maybe close to 1,000, let's say, I don't know, songs that you would know inside out at any time. It sounds a lot, it's not a lot.
It's
and
a
like
lot.
I said, it
It's
is
a
a
lot.
lot. But it is a lot.
Yeah.
But not in the sense that there's a lot of tricks in that matter, which we've discussed earlier with the 4-chord songs. There's so many things that you play. Hey Jude, to make it back, take a sad song and make it back. It's 4-chord. Okay, there's the 5th one. Oh no, there was the 4th one actually. There you go. A lot of songs have the same pattern. As soon as you're able to recognize that, just learn as many tunes as possible, because then that's what gets the crowd crazy always. They love when you play whatever they request.
Yeah, but specifically,
Yeah.
for example, I've heard Kevin Owen say to everybody at some point, if he just wants to make a connection with people, he might say, is everybody happy? And then everyone will go, yeah, and okay.
Right.
And then so suddenly he has a connection. And then
Okay.
suddenly he'll ask questions of people, So in that respect,
Yeah.
what do you do when
I
you
think
have to
I'll
connect?
go back to the same thing that I said. I try to play as many of their songs as possible. That way, they will look at me differently, let's say.
Okay.
I don't really have, quotes or stuff like this. And there's a reason why. Because lately, we are about 4 piano entertainers on the stage in the same night.
Yeah.
There's, for example, Kevin does this.
Yeah.
Everybody else has its own bit. My bit
Yeah.
is to be as musical as possible and get to them by doing this,
Yeah.
that. Yeah. And
Okay.
I let the party stuff. I do that too. You know me. I mean, but that's towards the end of the night and everything.
Yeah. So you would say that your way of connecting is just talking to people then?
Just
like saying, hi, how you going? And
yeah,
what do you want?
be on the same level. Just get in the same mood. So when I play, they will feel what I feel.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. I mean, because I think the most difficult thing about entertaining is not being afraid to connect with people. And then, sometimes it makes it easier for people if they have an idea of what they're going to say before they begin. Like, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is blah, blah, blah. And I take requests. I mean, that for me is my default because it's got something to say.
Oh, yeah,
To explain,
I have that default as
take
well.
requests, write it down, bring it up, we'll play it. Fantastic.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a beginner.
Yeah.
And there's lots of things like that people can do, And I wondered if you had anything specific.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I like to, for example, when I have my own gigs, when I play by myself,
Yeah.
I'm super curious about the reasons people request a certain song. So,
Yeah.
for example, if somebody wants to hear, I don't know, My Way by
Yeah.
Frank Sinatra
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Is there a reason? And most of them have a story behind
Oh,
everything.
yes.
And they're like, yeah, my grandfather was a singer as well, and he loved Frank Sinatra or whatever, And I like to connect with people in this matter.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah,
That's a
because
great idea.
It becomes more intimate.
So asking them why they picked that song.
Yeah.
That's
for
a
example,
really good idea.
I ask them, is there a reason behind this song? Because, I like to watch a lot of facts about different songs. Like, for example, we have We Do It All, Chasing Cars.
Yes. Right.
That's a great tune. He wrote this for his dog.
Yeah.
While they were sitting on the couch together.
Yeah.
So it's just connections of everything, and I think
That's
people,
cool.
yeah, I think people have a different. I know for a fact that people react different to different songs.
That's
Because
absolutely
emotions.
fantastic. something that's made me think now. That's a really good idea, is to ask people why they picked the song. I've never thought of that before.
Yeah.
But that's an interesting conversation to have, you know.
It is.
Absolutely.
And it's not piano playing all the time. It's piano entertaining what we
Well,
do.
absolutely. That is that's what I'm getting at, is not the piano part, but the entertaining part. This is the difficult part as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly.
You can never stop working on that, you know. I mean, like playing, there's only so much you have to do to be able to play, and then you can play.
Indeed.
You don't have to be fancy with piano entertainment.
No.
But entertaining, that can be hard because it's never the same.
It's never the same.
And you have to be pretty bloody good at knowing people, you know.
And this is what I'm trying to be better at. This is the reason why I try to, you know, psychologically get, you know, involved with them.
Yeah. So tell us about your setup here, because this is really interesting. This is not something I've seen anyone use. How does it work? What do you do with it?
Right. So this baby over here is a Korg PA700.
Yeah.
It's a pretty basic machine which has, you know, a variety of rhythms that you can choose.
An arranger.
An arranger,
keyboard.
exactly.
Okay.
So basically it has, you know, different kind of grooves, different kind of, you know, drum patterns and not only. So, but what I like to do with this is actually to take it to the next level. A trick which I've learned from some friends of mine from Romania.
Yeah.
I actually pre-record everything on the keyboard itself, because you get to choose your tones, right? You can use this. You can use you know, all sorts of sounds, obviously, and then I pre-record everything. I'll show you an example. Look,
Sure. That'd be great.
We have I Will Survive. It's already here, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Then I have my left-hand bass, as we've spoken of.
Yeah.
And then the tune will play, you know, a circle, the whole 8 bars.
Yeah.
With the chord changes of the song itself, which are.
Yes.
And that's it. I play it in E minor. Right. So then everything here is recorded in E minor.
That's interesting.
And it goes like this.
So you do it upper fifth.
I do. Sorry?
You do it upper fifth.
What do you mean?
The original song's in A minor.
Oh, yeah. It's a little bit more comfortable for me to.
Absolutely.
But I do it lower, right?
Yeah.
So lower.
Well, that's funny because, you know, I've heard people do Piano Man in G instead of C.
Right.
And what that does is it can flip the melody upside down, so the low bit becomes a high bit and the high bit becomes the low bit.
That is true.
And I think that's what you've done with this song.
Kinda.
Yeah, because it's a fifth away. It's
is.
almost as far away as you could be, you know.
Although at the time when I've created this, what I'm going to show you right now,
Or it's a fourth down.
I have not been playing in the Netherlands.
Oh.
And this song in the Netherlands in particular, the part...
Yeah.
This part has to be done as simple as possible.
Yeah.
Whereas I was doing it. Da 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 you know? Yeah. So here it has to be told. Yeah, exactly. So let's get into it. I'll show you what I've done over here.
Sure.
So everything is recorded without the bass. I don't use the bass because I do it. And then you have just a little pad. You've got the groovy guitars over there, right?
Is that guitar from the arranger keyboard?
That is from the sounds. Yeah, it is from the arranger itself. And then obviously, so then you can see that after 8 bars, it does the fill by itself. And then I can do this as well. And then, you know? And then I play the manual bass on top of everything. And then obviously the piano. And then we can go to another variation where you have a little bit of strings filling up everything. And it's very subtle, but it works, you know. And then you look like a one-man band instead of, you know. Yeah. And then we've got the big part over here, which goes like this. 2, 3, and... And of course I can control this and I can stop it.
Oh, I can drop parts out.
I've got a pre-recorded bass on this particular pattern, which allows me to improvise, for example.
Oh, yeah.
So I can always go like this. Oh no, that was this. There we go. And then. And then I can turn on some of the stuff, and then and there you go. This is
That's
what
fantastic.
I use. Yeah, and I do it for pretty much. I try to do it for as many songs as possible.
Yeah, that's actually great to be able to put the bass in or take it out and play left hand.
This is the beauty of having an arranger, which is actually under €1,000.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, this is quite an old model now.
It is. And it is the cheap version of the PA 1000.
Oh, okay. And
Yes.
do you have lots of songs programmed on it, or?
Not as many as I wish, but
So then do you have default grooves that you go to?
I do.
Right.
I have default grooves that I
And
use.
is it easy to get through the menu at the gig and get to a next song?
Absolutely. It's all touchscreen. For example, we have, let's see, over here. I've got, for example, I called it the fat synth. And we've got like techno shit. Sorry, maybe the balance is not correct. And then I've got the Euro bass.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Hey,
You know?
yeah.
Yeah, and I love using synths and everything on it makes it way bigger.
Oh, it does.
A
Absolutely.
thing which I've learned in Crazy Pianos, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
I was super limited before. I was using just, normal brass and
yeah.
that's about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
just-
definitely the synth sounds and the synth kits really,
Oh, yeah.
the dance kits really help.
Absolutely, yeah.
No, that's awesome. I actually really like this.
So, this is what
sounds
it is.
fantastic. You know,
I don't really use much more than this. There's like,
oh yeah.
all the, you need.
Do you have the bass
need
for that?
Yeah, well,
Oh, okay.
I use this for the bass. Yeah, it works.
Yeah, because the bass that goes with that. The
No.
doo, 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 it's got that really heavy attack on it.
Oh, right.
Stevie's got it on the keyboard on the FAO6.
Oh, right. Yeah. I don't think
It's
I know.
very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, but Roland
I
and
never use
Korg,
it, but it's there.
Yeah.
He uses it. It's great. I love
I
it.
think I know which one it is. Is
Yeah.
it the one that has also like an organ on top,
Yes,
right?
like
yeah,
this.
yeah.
So, but
It's
it
like
has
a fifth.
that kind of synth percussive bass.
Yeah. I know.
And it sounds just like the old school '90s grooves.
You gotta give it to Roland though. With sounds, they are way better than Korg. With sounds,
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so.
you know what? I find Roland, Korg, Yamaha all have their own little niche things that they're good at.
Yeah, but
You know.
in this point of view,
Synths, it's definitely
synths,
Roland. But the new Montage M, that might be another thing entirely.
yeah. But talking about the old stuff, like the cheap stuff that you take to gigs, because I
Roland
bet
is
you
the-
don't really take the montage with you all the time. For
I
example,
don't. I rarely do because it's so big.
Yeah, and it's
But I
expensive.
do love the sounds in it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
For me, they're the best. But for synth sounds, still the FAO6 for me
Oh yeah,
is
it's
still
absolutely
better than
amazing.
everything. I,
I
mean,
wish
it's-
it had an arranger in it as well.
Well, there is the Phantom.
There is the
The
Phantom
same
too.
sounds.
Yeah.
But with a massive, crazy arranger that's really good. you
Yeah,
know.
true.
But no, what about practice? How do you practice and learn new songs? Do you have a method, or do you just listen, play until you get it?
Yeah, pretty much. I try to learn. So, piano playing wise, I kind of have my own, inversions and stuff that I use on a day-to-day basis. Let's put it like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And so I try to focus on the the vocals as much as possible, so I can get as close to that as possible. And then piano wise, I already have my way, so I'm gonna know what I'm gonna do, what chords I'm gonna use all the time. For I don't know. yeah,
But,
it's
I mean,
hard to explain.
Yeah, but more importantly, I think in my case, I'll listen to a song on Spotify and I'll play along with it, and then I'll
Yeah.
get rid of it and I'll pull up a beat on my arranger and I'll play it along with that. But then I find it takes about 1 to 2 weeks of doing that every day to have it internalized to the point where I remember the lyrics on call, and even then, going to the gig is a completely different thing,
Yeah,
and your
that's
recall
always,
won't be
yeah.
the same as when you're sitting in your house.
Yeah.
So then you have a period of where you have to do it 3 or 4 times live before it becomes solid.
Yes,
You know?
that is
So
indeed true.
I find that learning songs can be quite a lengthy process to have it solid. I mean, I can learn a song in 20 minutes and put the lyrics up and play it. But to know the song really well and use it in the right way can take weeks.
It is true, and as we said earlier, it depends on the complexity of the song as well.
Yeah.
But luckily for us, most of the the songs that we get requested to play are quite easy. So that's lucky for us as well. But sometimes when you have to learn a complicated tune, it can go the way you said, and it usually goes like that for myself as well. But what I do in that time, in that case, I actually listen to the song non-stop, and I try to make that for the day to be my normal.
Yeah.
As in, if you look at Brazilian people, right?
Yeah.
And then you take let's say a Russian person.
Yeah.
And you put them back to back. The Brazilian will never be able to speak Russian as a Russian, nor a Russian guy or woman wouldn't be able to dance samba like a Brazilian, because that's the normal for both extremes.
They live it. Yeah.
So then I try to make everything normal.
Yeah.
So the environment, when I learn a song, then I don't know whether there is a whatever, whatever song it is, if it's whatever, Radar Love.
Yeah.
For example, if I learn those songs, I just listen to that the whole day.
Yeah.
And I try to wake up in the morning, and before even making my coffee, just play that tune right away. So then it's going to be ringing in my ear.
You have to internalize it.
Absolutely, yeah.
When playing with a drummer, what is it that you want from a drummer? What are you hoping to hear, or what are the ideal things a drummer can do for you?
Right. I've actually have a great connection with Jos van Dijk from Crazy
He's
Pianos.
fantastic.
He's a
Great drummer.
outstanding musician.
Yeah,
and the thing that he does that I like very much.
Yeah.
I'm not so experienced with playing with drummers, because I have my own drummer over here, right?
Yes, of course.
Most of the time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But when playing with a live drummer in a piano bar, I think the thing that helps the most is the fact that they constantly listen to you. So then whenever you do a break, a stop, whatever it is, they're always, sharp with it and everything. Because that's the effects, of being able to, like, it's like using special effects all the time. So it's supposed to be super sharp. I like, my drummer to never slow me down. If we start the song in one groove, just hold that. Don't go slower than I started or so.
No,
Never.
or
Because then
speed it up.
Yeah, or
which
speed
is
it up.
just
That's even
as
worse.
bad, yeah.
Oh dear Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's never the case in the Crazy Pianos, because we have really good drummers
We
over there.
do.
Yeah.
And Crazy Pianos is amazing.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So, but this is the thing, like you said, it's gotta get it just, as soon as it fits together, as soon as we have this, how do you call it? Because we play
Bond,
long
yeah.
enough together, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So then after a while, like you said, the first 3-4 times, they're not going to sound great. But after that, they have also this ability and the talent to, bond everything together.
Yeah.
And this is what most of the drummers that we play with, all of them, they do. And it's amazing. And I really, really appreciate their work. I think they're just fantastic, man.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Man, I would love to hear a final song from you.
Sure, man.
Maybe something
let's
with
do
your
one.
wonderful machine, huh?
Yeah, let's do one.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh dear Lord, I don't know really what to sing. Let's go like this.
Okay.
Yeah. I have to always split everything. Resplit and split. Let's see if this is correct.
White lips, bare face, breathing in snowflakes, burn lungs with a sour taste. Days gone, nights in, struggling to pay the rent. Days gone with a sour taste. And they say she's in a class 18, stuck in a daydream. Been this way since 18, but lately I'm facing slowly sinking, pacing, crumbling like pastry. But they scream the worst things in life come free to us, cause we're out of the upper hand. Go mad for a couple grams. It's too cold outside tonight. I need a pipe, she fly to a motherland. Go mad for a couple grams. It's too cold outside. Sounds good, man. All right, here we go. Oh, wait, no. There you
Very
go.
cool, man. That's a great version. That's a
Thank
great
you,
version.
bro. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well done.
I like to do this. I really like to change songs ever since I've listened to Dirty Loops for the first
Yeah,
time.
absolutely. No, I hear you. I'm
I love
totally
it,
there
man.
with you with that. For
Yeah.
sure. Man, it's
Love
been
it,
an
man.
absolute pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you very much for having me over,
No,
man.
it's been fantastic. I've learned a lot, and it's been great listening to your journey, your story.
Thank you so much, brother.
Thanks with everything. Hey, can people find you online at all?
Absolutely. I don't post that much on my social media. I've had my ups and downs as well.
Okay, yeah.
But Adrian Piper, I'm pretty much all over the YouTube,
Yeah,
Instagram as well,
yeah.
Facebook. It's just my name. It's nothing else.
Adrian
There was
Piper.
Adrian Piper.
Oh, okay.
There's
on
where-
on Instagram and
Instagram and everywhere.
Facebook. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
sure.
Fantastic. Thanks, man.
I can leave my links below.
Yes, I'll put them in the
Sure.
description for sure.
Thank you very much, Adam.
No worries, man.
Have a good one, brother.
You too, man. Take it easy.
Bye bye.
Thanks again for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as every Tuesday we interview another international piano entertainer. Check out our links in the description, and until next time, have a great week.